Greetings, friend. I will show you how to quickly solve this puzzle from 2023 Sudoku Grand Prix, and I'll do it by only making one set of marks. You need to keep watching because later in the video I have an exciting announcement you don't want to miss. Click below if you want to give it a go. With that, it's solving time. So you need to start right here and go, what can be in this cell? All right, can't be a 1 or a 2, can't be a 3 or a 4, can't be a 6, 7, 8, or a 9. This has to be a 5. And then if you come over and look at this one cutting across row 1, and you see this one coming up column 8, you know the ones are limited in block 3 to column 9. That makes them a pointing pair. I'm not going to mark that. But what you know is now 1 can't be anywhere else along column 9. So the 1s can't be in any of these spots. And with this one, a 1 can't be here. So you can solve this cell for a 1. Now, if we bring these 9s across rows 7 and 8, and this 9 down column 8, we can solve this for a 9 because that's the only place left for a 9. And these puzzles can be pretty tricky. I did participate in round 1, and I thought this puzzle was kind of easy compared to puzzle 2 where I made a mistake and had to go back. And puzzle 4 was a lot harder for me. But I want to show you the quickest way to get through this. And now I'm going to make that one set of marks I was telling you about. All right? Look at this 6 right here. This 6 cuts across row 8, and so it leaves us only 2 places for a 6 in block 9. That makes it a pointing pair. So a 6 can't be anywhere else along column 8. This is important because that means a 6 can't be here or here anymore. And so 6s are going to need to be over here in block 3. What it helps us do is, this is kind of hard to see, but you need to solve this cell next. This cell will open up this puzzle so nice. What can this cell be? It can't be a 1, can't be a 2 or a 3, can't be a 4 or 5. And now with the pointing pair, it can't be a 6. It can't be an 8 or 9. You can solve this cell for a 7. And this is great. And you're like, well, what's the big deal, Tim? Like, I'm about to show you why solving that cell is such a big deal. Now, where can the 9 go here in block 6? 9 can't be. We already got them in column 8 and column 9. We got this 9 cutting across here. So you can solve this cell for a 9. And now since you've solved this for a 7, we know this cell can be a 7 and this cell can be a 3. And with these two 3s, we can solve this cell for a 3. And now you will see how quickly we can start solving this puzzle. All right, this 9 coming up column 2 means this has to be a 9. And then we are not quite done with the 9s. Let's look. We got a 9 cutting across row 3, row 1, and column 5. So that has to be a 9 right there. And the only place left for a 9 is right there. You want to see this key. I didn't see this right away. I had to look a little bit later on to kind of capture that pointing pair. These can be really hard to see. And now with the 7 coming down means the only place left for a 7 is right there. This is a 6-8. I'm not going to mark the 6-8, but you'll want to remember that that's going to be what I just said, a 6 or an 8. And now what can we look at? We'll come back up here. You're missing a 2 and an 8. I got a 2 already in row 3, so this is going to be your 8, and that's going to be your 2. Okay, and then if we look across here, what are we missing? Looks like a 1. We're missing a 4 and a 5. I can't mark the 1, 4, or 5 just yet. If we come down this way, we just saw this 2 and an 8. What's missing? A 1, 5, 6, 7. Well, you see there's a 7, a 1, and a 6 right there. This has to be a 5. And that's going to be helpful for us because now we know that the 7s are limited to these 2 spots right there. That'll come into play just a little bit later. If we come here, we're missing a 2, 4, and 8. I got an 8 and a 2 right there. This has to be a 4. And so now we just need a 2 and an 8 right there. But with these 2 4s, and this 4, we can now solve this cell for 4. With this 4s in rows 1 and 2, we can solve this cell for 4. And with this 2, that means this is a 2 and a 4. This is a 6 and an 8. This cell has to be a 5, okay? And now we're just missing a 1 and a 6. I got a 1 in row 1. So here's your 1 and here's your 6. You always want to go for like the big clumps. You see we had most of the clumps starting right there and right there. And then we use that to now start solving these outside blocks. This is great stuff for us. So if we come across here, we're missing a 7 and an 8. I got 2 8s in rows 2 and 3. I got an 8 right there. This has to be your 8. That's got to be your 7. Okay. And if you remember, I said that the 7's got to be one of these 2 spots. You got the 7 cutting across here. Sevens can't be there. Now this 7 coming down means this cell actually has to be a 7. So we'll come back up here, and this is a full house. So we have 8 candidates fill it in, and we only have 1 missing. It's always called a full house. And so we can solve that for a 6. The 6 in column 6 to go with that one we just marked in column 5 means this has to be a 6. And with this 6 and these 2, we can solve for a 6 right here, and then come on down and go, all right, 6, 6. This can be another 6. And now we can disambiguate this 6 and 8. I'm going to go over those marks, solve that for a 6, solve that for an 8. And so now this 8 cutting across here and coming down means this is going to be 8. And remember, I got a big announcement coming up, so stay tuned. This also reminds me of another puzzle from the Sudoku Grand Prix. I'll put that at the end for you to check out as well. You'll love to solve that one too. Okay, this is a full house, so we got to mark that for a 2. And then what are we looking for here? We're missing a 1 and a 5. And then down here, it looks like we're missing a 1, 3, and a 5. I got the 5 to 3 right here. This has to be your 1. All right. And so now this is going to be your 5, and that's going to be your 1. Okay, and now we have another full house. Always want to solve those because you can guarantee you're going to get a solve there. And then we're just missing, looks like a 2 and a 5. So 2 and a 5 right there. Let's do this full house since we are looking at it. That's got to be an 8. And now with this 8 and the 8 cutting across, this has to be an 8. And we can come over and we can solve this cell for an 8. I'm missing a 1 and a 7. I do see the 1 up here. So here's your 1, and here is your 7. Okay, this 1 cutting across, this 1 coming up, column 3, down column 3, up column 1 means this has to be a 1, and now placed with this 1, that's got to be a 1. So quick cross-hatching is going to solve those cells almost every time. And now I want to look down here. I'm still, what am I missing? A 2 and a 5. We can't solve the 2 and a 5 yet, but if we look here, we got a full house. So let's solve that first. So that's got to be a 2. And this is actually a 2, 4. I mentioned that before. So here's your 2, and there is your 4. And so now we can solve this for a 2, which will make that a 2 and that the 5. Using the working memory to kind of fill out the rest of that block. And what do we have across here? Looks like a 3 and a 5. Can we solve the 3 and the 5 yet? Not quite. But what do we have here? 3 to 5, and then what we got here? This full house. Let's solve that first. That's got to be a 7. Okay, and with this 7 and this 7 means this has to be a 7 as well. Now we can look at our 4 and our 5. I got the 4 here. So here's your 4. Here's your 5. Getting close to making that special announcement. All right, we need the 5 up there, and we need a 3 right there. Look, do we see a 3? Nope, but I got a 3 in row 5, so this has to be your 3, and this last digit is a 5. It's time for my big announcement. First, a big shout out to my new members, Florian Wortman and Prosper Blondel. Second, I want to thank Aaron Wells and Jean Lemire for buying me coffees. I really appreciate it. Third, I want to give a special shout out to DJV for giving the correct solution to February's reward puzzle pack that was done by Yoshi Broshi. It was super awesome. And guess what? I have my March reward puzzle pack for members like coming out tomorrow. Rock Rat Zero created. It is so cool. You want to take part of this? Join the Smarty Party. Click on the membership link in the description below. And thank you so much for watching.